Good evening and welcome to Prime News Live from Studio 1 of My Media Prime Television. We are broadcasting from Fon Quinter in Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. My name is Fon Quinter reports reaching us say a pupil on holiday classes at St. Teresa Primary School in Kumbo, a locality in the crisis-hit northwest region of Cameroon, has been shot there during a gun battle between soldiers and armed separatists. According to reports, 2 pupils were shot and 1 died on the spot, while the other is currently receiving treatment at a medical facility in Kumbo. Until something else, Nigerian separatist group Biafra Nations League have failed to hoist the Biafra flag in Bakassi Peninsula as they met with stiff resistance from Cameroonian forces after having pulled down the Cameroon flag. Details with Alin Sama.
The head of operations of the Biafra Nations League, BNL, Henry Edit, in a message made public recently, confirmed the removal of Cameroon's flag from a locality called Abana, former headquarters of Bakassi Peninsula under Cameroon. Reports say militias loyal to the separatist group had earlier threatened to remove billboards bearing the Republic of Cameroon and shortly after pulled down the Cameroonian flag. Nonetheless, they failed to hoist Biafra flags in the peninsula due to sporadic gunshots from Cameroonian forces, according to sources. The BNL has frowned at the condition of the leftovers of the region and has threatened chaos if the authorities in Nigeria do not address the situation. The Nigerian Navy recently established 2 operational bases in Ekang and Day Spring Island in Bakassi. It should be recalled that the Bakassi conflict between Cameroon and Nigeria has in the past strained cooperation ties between the 2 border countries which share a lot. However, in 2002, the International Criminal Court ruled in favor of Cameroon, and mediation by the United Nations gave birth to the Green Tree Agreement, and Nigeria completed the instrument by withdrawing its military, police, and administration from the Bakassi Peninsula on August 14, 2008. But the conflict involving the Biafra separatist group and the Cameroon government pertains to the discovery of oil deposits at the Bakassi Peninsula, which is boundary between Cameroon and Nigeria, southwest of Cameroon, and from time to time keeps popping up.
Now, at least 3 persons have died and others seriously injured after a truck transporting containers fell on people by the roadside. The accident occurred in Yaoundé at the Awai Escalade neighborhood, as Nora Kakebi tells us.
Another fatal road accident has occurred once again, claiming precious lives in the country. The population of Awai Escalade neighborhood in Yaoundé yesterday, August 19, witnessed yet another deadly accident in which a heavy-duty truck transporting several containers fell on a group of persons standing by the roadside beside a Tradex filling station. According to reports, at least 3 lives were lost in the accident and the bodies have been retrieved beneath the containers. It is feared that many more people died in the unfortunate incident and their bodies are still to be retrieved. Sources say the containers were not chained but were rather tied around with ropes, not solid enough to bind them together. Many Cameroonians have blamed the accident to sheer recklessness from drivers who do not care much about human lives. Cameroonians are therefore calling on the government to reinforce stricter measures and sanctions on all defaulters. Deadly road accidents are becoming too frequent across the country. It should be recalled that just recently, the Transport Minister of Cameroon, Jean-Ernest Masséna Bibehe, set strict guidelines for road users following the recent accidents, and some travel agencies were suspended.
Now on today's Back to School series, our reporter Nolinga sought to find out from parents when is the right time for them to begin preparing their kids for back to school. Videos right ahead.
A famous elementary school song insinuates school is a good thing and learning another. Well, but when it is time for the back-to-school season in Cameroon, popularly known by its French parlance rentrée scolaire, most parents, especially those of the low and average economic backgrounds, either turn to be hostile towards their kids, their friends, and even some clients. The cause of this smooth swing is greatly attributed to some of these reasons.
I want to talk to government, say school fees there for Douala, plus that war way there for Bamenda, all English people don't come for Douala. Now so school class 4 picking at 160,000. It over there. Who over there for Cameroon? Me government try open all public school for all region for Cameroon. Because you hear say Bonamusa di lycée bilingue there do transport 1,000, 1,500, me one picking for mod go for 1 year now how much? It the pass picking where the pay university 400,000 for 1 year for class 3 picking. Every year they add 20,000 for picking for English side. Every year any man they woke up 20,000. I want ask say if now so they pay impôt libératoire. I no sure say now so. If now so government be the add price for impôt, they will believe for this Cameroon. Picking one go school, they say me then go school. Who side the money they?
On a milder tone, Mr. Charles is another parent who thinks the difficulties can be overcome only through divine intervention, as he further expresses his predicaments.
I'm just there, I don't know. I'm still looking for money for the back to school because this country is too hard, so there is no money this time. So I'm just left alone, no brother, no sister, no mother. But by the grace of God, maybe we are still hoping on God to perform His miracle. I have 3 children that have to go to school. Still with that one again, I'm still in rentage.
Meanwhile, Madame Tenfak, a mobile business vendor commonly called Bayam Selam, contradicts the previous views to say back-to-school preparation must be done 1 year ahead of the academic year. I want to say back-to-school preparations are not supposed to be done but now. If you haven't done anything since the start of the year, then it's not now that you will do something. You cannot perform a miracle now, because normally preparations for the back-to-school must be done 1 year before the academic year begins. Although prepared for the rentrée scolaire, Madame Aza Igwe says, as a business person, the greatest impact of this period is felt on the flow of her business.
Well,
it's affecting my business very much because parents are not buying from me as much as they used to do before. The back-to-school season has come with so many challenges, but now they are more preoccupied with the purchase of books, textbooks, and lots more. But as for my kids, I've already prepared them ahead of time. Meantime, whether government responds to these needs or not, one thing parents must note is that the seconds, minutes, hours and days are dying off for the September rentrée scolaire, and as such, the future of their kids is greatly dependent in their hands.
Now, CPDM party reorganization continues with the launching of election campaigns throughout the country. Election campaigns were launched earlier this week for the Limbe 1 section in the southwest region. Details with Joingam.
Should first and second class chiefs vie for positions in the ongoing reorganization of the CPDM party, this controversy was one of the worries raised by the CPDM militants in the Limbe 1 section last Tuesday, August 17. Presiding over the campaign launch, the president of the FACO 1A Electoral Committee cleared the doubt surrounding Jean Quete's circular, reiterating that anyone could file in their candidature. He called on the militants to come together for the growth of the party.
It's not a fight. It's not a fight. It's a come together. Because the more we are together, the stronger we are. So let's leave certain personal issues and let's focus on the objectives of the CPDM party. Let's make it strong. Because we know that there's a race coming ahead. Everybody it will come. So if we're not strong, we will no longer be the party that we are.
With this election, the militants are expected to vote into office new executive to carry on with the running of the party at different levels for the next 5 years. It is following the crucial nature of the elections that Simon Mokoko implored the militants of Limbe 1 section to conduct the reorganization with strict discipline.
Militants are very, very excited. They want to see that they get positions of responsibility within the party, but we're cautioning them to be disciplined. They should know that it's a process that needs to take place in an orderly manner, and that we hope that the people that we put together will take into account the socio-political component of what is really happening today.
Candidates for any position, one must show proof that his constituency recorded a victory during the February 2020 parliamentary and municipal elections.
Now, farmers and some internally displaced persons in Momo East Northwest region of Cameroon have received farm equipment and livestock from Member of Parliament for Momo East, Honorable Injo Fon Quinter. The gift aims at boosting agro-pastoral activities within that community. Details right ahead. Internally displaced persons and some common initiative farming groups in Momo East, Northwest region of Cameroon have received livestock consisting of day-old chicks and farming equipment to boost agro-pastoral activities within that community. The gift was handed to them by Member of Parliament for Momo East constituency, Honorable Injo Fon Quinter, aimed at empowering her community, promote food sufficiency and contribute to the economy that has witnessed a drop in economic activities due to the Anglophone crisis. The beneficiaries say,
very happy. Yes, I speak the wrong die, parliamentarians speak the wrong go, make it support people who fall, so that makes Latino get for help me the economy.
Very happy. I was so happy because when she phoned that I should come and take this, I was so happy. Yes, happy because I'm ready to start the business. At least I will start some business that will help me and the family.
Following numerous packers reported in most localities within the division, butchers have hardly earned their investment from the sales of beef, as it has contributed to the decay of most of their stock. To solve this problem, the Member of Parliament through her alternate gifted a generator to the Butchers Union.
The generator that we dish out to the butchers is to check against the light failures, which have become very recurrent here in Bengue. We have witnessed frequent light cuts, at times 2 weeks, 3 weeks, so it causes a lot of damage to our products. So the initiative to produce a generator is to act as a backup against light failures.
The occasion was equally an opportunity to train beneficiaries, especially farmers, on best handling techniques of their old chicks, feed composition, and setting up of a poultry. Now, Cameroon joined the rest of the world to celebrate World Humanitarian Day. The day is set aside to pay tribute to people who sacrifice their lives despite odds and continue to provide protection and life-saving support to people in need. This year's Humanitarian Day focuses on the immediate human cost of the climate crisis, pressure world leaders to take meaningful climate action for the world's most vulnerable people. Now take a listen to the coordinator of the United Nations system in Cameroon, Mikwa Abril, during celebrations of this year's Humanitarian Day in the country's political capital, Yaoundé.
So climate change is a direct impact on humanitarian assistance and the work of humanitarian workers. It is more difficult to provide assistance when you have floods, when you have drought, when you have massive displacement. There is a question of humanitarian access to the affected population. The other problem also is that climate change triggers more displacements and more conflict-induced tensions. So we need to respond to this, and it generates more work for the humanitarians. We are celebrating World Humanitarian Day because while doing our work, we have humanitarians who are paying their lives to do this. This is why we created World Humanitarian Day after the bomb attack in Baghdad, which killed 22 humanitarian workers. Since that, the 19th of August is to remember that while we are doing our job, we have colleagues who are paying their lives, who are injured, who are working in difficult situations.
Now, members of Senate of the Catholic University Institute Boya have approved the 2021 receipt examination. They met in a session chaired by the president of the institution Thursday, August 19, 2021. Student journalist on internship Eyong Thenison with details.
Welcome all of you to this 18th meeting of Senate. On behalf of the Chancellor and Chancellor of the Catholic University Institute of Boya.
The 18th Senate meeting of the Catholic University Institute of Boya
to deliberate and approve the 2021 receipt examinations took place on the 19th of August 2021 at the main campus in Boya. Professor Victor Julius Ngo, President of the CUIB, welcomed the Senate members and appreciated the efforts of the faculty and the staff in ensuring the smooth organization of the receipt exams.
Well, I think for a successful university administration, the policy which should be adopted should be the bottom-top approach. So I ensure that opinions, views, suggestions come from the bottom, so that all those involved along the chain participate in whatever final decision is done. And I think it's always good to allow each and every person to give an opinion objectively, freely, without fear of favor, and I think that's one of the reasons why I would like to believe the Catholic University Institute of Boya so far has been successful.
Professor Jean-Francis Ako Achere, representative of the Vice Chancellor of the University of Boya, was impressed with the manner in which the 2021 receipt exams were conducted.
It's very interesting to see what is going on here. There's remarkable improvement, and that can be represented by, is being demonstrated by the performance of the students. We are very impressed with what CUBE is doing in regards to training of their students. They ensure quality, and we are quite satisfied as their mentor university. Senate of CUBE is just like the Senate of UB. The only difference is that in UB we take a longer period, a longer time for our Senate than here, because of course this is a smaller university, but it's just exactly like UB Senate.
During deliberations, all results were approved. The president of the CUIB also informed the Senate members that the new campus at Bonaberi Douala will go operational this October for the 2021-2022 academic year. The Catholic University Institute of Boya, CUIB, has as mission to train professional servants and leaders with spiritual and moral values which will contribute to the sustainable development of their communities.
And to health, Bokengo Waritho's COVID-19 variants, mutations and actions needed by individuals to protect themselves. Details right ahead.
Variants, mutations, vaccine, viruses, and more are some terms that have become monotonous across the globe lately, with health scientists seeming to battle with it now more than ever after the SARS-CoV-19 virus hit the world some 3 years ago. It is important to note that the SARS-CoV-19 virus mutates from time to time. According to the World Health Organization COVID-19 technical lead, Dr. Maria Van Kerkhove, there are 4 prominent variants circulating around the world that are of great concern.
There are several virus variants that WHO is tracking around the world. The SARS-CoV-2 virus, the virus that causes COVID-19, is evolving. This is natural evolution, and the virus is expected to change the more the virus circulates around. Currently, there are 4 variants of concern that WHO is tracking around the world. The B.1.1.7, which was first identified in the United Kingdom, the B.1.351, which was first identified in South Africa, the P1 variant, which was first identified in Japan from travelers from Brazil, and now we've recently classified the B.1.617, which is first identified in India. Now, it's really important that you look at the latest information from WHO because this is a fast-changing situation. The latest information we have on all of our variants of interest and variants of concern that we are tracking.
Also, she states and explained the differences between the variants of interest and the variant of concern, laying emphasis against stigma towards the host countries.
Variants of interest have properties, have mutations that have been identified that need further study. Variants of concern have demonstrated changes. For example, you may have increased transmissibility, there may be a change in disease presentation or severity, or there may be a change in our ability to control the virus with public health and social measures, or the use of diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines. It's really important that we don't do that. We don't say country X variant, because that really adds a stigma associated with these variants.
Encouraging the world to practice safety measures put in place by respective governments, the World Health Organization COVID-19 technical lead states,
the SARS-CoV-2 virus can infect us and it can spread between people. So it means take all of the measures that you can to reduce your exposure and the possibility of you getting infected. It means physical distancing, avoiding crowded spaces, spending more time outdoors than indoors. If you are indoors, make sure that there's good ventilation. It's about having clean hands and wearing a mask properly over your nose and your mouth.
Worthy of note is the fact that variants, mutations, and viruses may be inevitable. However, prevention and safety measures must be applicable by all so as to help fight off the pandemic and flatten the curve.
We've come to the end of today's edition of Prime News, compiled for us by Lasha. The news was produced by Ewane and Nolinga. Stay with us for more programs come up on My Media Prime Television. My name is Fon Quinter. Thanking you for watching. Good night.